How do? Out with laddo. Ronnie O'Sullivan, famous snooker player. That's not who we're talking about today. Come on then, lad. Back up on the pit site. Old colliery site. Loft House, West Yorkshire. Yeah, Ronnie O'Sullivan, famous snooker player. John O'Sullivan, not a snooker player. Ex-Strangeways governor, only just an ex, he weren't there long. He was a merchant banker. That's rhyming slang, merchant banker. I'm sure you know what I mean. So, a subscriber asked me, I mentioned this in a vlog a long time ago, can you expand on a Strangeways prison governor being led from the prison in handcuffs? Yes, I can. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. So, John O'Sullivan came to our prison. Nobody knows why, although I have a clue, which I will reveal. At that time, around 2012, come on lad, get a grip, 2012. Strangeways, I always use that term, those of you who don't know, it's HMP Manchester. But it will always be known as Strangeways. The prison was doing really well. There was 4 tiers then that prisons came into category-wise. Performance-wise, I think tier 1 was the bottom, tier 4 at the top. At that time, Strangeways was a tier 4 prison in the high security state. It was the only high security prison at that time that was tier 4. That means it is performing well. We had 2 great governors during my time there, and a couple of not so great, a couple of stand-ins and the like. But they were recruiting for what you could call a flagship prison. The inspectors' reports were excellent. Auditing wise, the prison was scoring 95, 96, 97% on audits. It was flying high. Great set of staff, some good governors and managers. Staff-prisoner relationships were fantastic. It was doing well. The high security estate, dispersal prisons and the like, were built to hold category A prisoners, the highest risk of prisoners and others. 5 governors, I believe, there or thereabouts, were interviewed from the high security estate, from other prisons for the job at Strangeways. You know, it was flying high, everything was good, it was performing well, it was a high performing prison. It also was the first prison to get the Gold Award for Investors in People. This is an award, well, it's about the staff really, how the prison were doing, so it was quite a prestigious award at the time, especially going to a prison. So everything's hunky-dory and doing well. These 5 staff, there or thereabouts, the feedback to us was none was suitable. I don't know why, I don't know what the interviews, how the interviews went, don't know what prisons they came from, but not suitable. So, like I said, the morale at the prison that time was really good, so we're all wondering who we're going to get. Boom! Ronnie O'Sullivan. Oh, sorry, not Ronnie. John O'Sullivan turns up. So imagine that. A high-performing prison. It's doing really well. They've interviewed 5 top candidates. Nobody's got the job, and then this guy turns up, this merchant banker. Well, let me tell you something about him first. I had a couple of dealings with him. When I said dealings, he's not going to talk to someone like me. This guy, I would definitely apply the word delusional. He was, well, he had a massive ego. It was huge. And he thought he was God's gift to women. People had come across him in other prisons, yeah. At Strangeways, he was handing out his number, his hotel room, allegedly, like sweets. Yeah, anything with a skirt. I can't really say that because there aren't many prison officers wore skirts, they all wore trousers. But you know what I'm saying. Let me tell some more things about this guy when he turned up. He was definitely unqualified. That's not just me. Like I said, the way he conducted himself as a #1 governor, high security prison, all previous governors in the morning stood alongside me and other people getting searched, staff search. Mobiles weren't taken into the prison, even the #1 governor. So the #1 governor, Mr. Vince, I'll use him, he was a good governor. He basically, along with Chris Sheffield and a few stand-ins, guided us to where we were in 2012. Like I said, Mr. Vince, he would get searched in the morning with us, he would speak to staff. You know, he was one of those, get in there early and get the job done. This guy's not having none of that. You know, he's in charge of this jail. He's #1 governor, he's not getting searched. That went down like a lead balloon with staff. Yeah, a good #1 governor, and the prison service is suffering now, believe me. A good #1 governor can make or break a jail. You know, you can be up here with morale or down here. It sunk quite a bit with this guy. One of the lads in the segregation unit, or solitary, told me, you know, we had a bit of a laugh about meeting this guy. He says he met him, he walked up to him, stood feet at 45 degrees with hand behind his back and looked him up and down like he was on a military parade ground, something like that. Yeah, give him a dirty look and fucked off. So, you know, maybe smile and that. My first meeting, I was talking to one of our cleaners, Mark, cheeky lad. He's out soon. Hopefully catch up with him. So, as I'm talking to him, he's sort of give me the, you know, Mr. S. Somebody's on board. Someone's on the deck on the landing, and it's this governor, the merchant banker. So my two managers, my two favourite managers I talk about, Bradders, Karen Bradbury, and KK, Miss Kenny, Karen Kenny. The prisoners all used to call him Karen. They used to cringe in the morning, but not cringe, it made them laugh. When we were walking in, I was always there, early doors, with one of them two, walking in, and people are walking towards you. We've all been there, haven't we? You know, they're miserable bastards who don't speak to anyone, yeah? And me, big gob, how do? Morning. Giving it that one, yeah? You'd see him with head down, Bradders would nudge me. Look who's here. I'd look. How do? People are compelled to speak. You could see them. Morning, and then they're hating themselves for the rest of the day because they spoke to me because they didn't like me. Miserable bastards. Yeah, I used to love that, me. And he met Bradders and KK smile all day and cringe a little bit as well. So this guy has walked up and stood opposite me. Lip almost quivered. You know, inside I'm compelled because I'd done this to every other governor. Morning, Gov. Mr. Vince, you didn't have to call him Mr. Vince. Gov. Gov was all right. You okay, Gov? The abbreviation. I held it though. I held it. It didn't quiver. I didn't say anything. I knew he was straight away. Stood opposite me. Yeah. Feet at 45 degrees, hands behind his back, and looked me up and down and give me a dirty look. Yeah, in my head, I'm thinking, you absolute merchant banker. Yeah. And then off he goes to the office. Mark says to me, who the fuck is he? I says, you tell me. This is John O'Sullivan, our governor. How did he get there, do you think? Well, before I talk about that, let me tell you something else he did. He brought guests into the prison. It's a prison in the high security estate. Don't matter what prison it is, nobody just walks into a prison with guests uninvited. This guy did. I tell you, he brought his dad as well. The only ego, possibly, bigger than his dad. He brought his dad. So KK, Karen Kenny, I told you, was in the office. This guy walks in, the merchant banker with his dad, another merchant banker. She's speaking to him. He says, listen, love, or something like that, something condescending, basically putting her down. You don't have to tell me anything. Don't tell me about this prison. I'm not impressed. I've been to all his prisons. Nothing impresses me. I thought, wow, you know, that's how to impress people, that. So you can already see now what sort of a guy this is. So how did he get there? Well, at that time, oh, his name's just slipped. Can we just, I'll tell you what, I'll show you Stephen. Stephen. Yeah, it's not coming just yet. Hopefully it'll come back to me before the end of the vlog. The head of the prison service then, or thereabouts, why's that done that to me? Anyway, this guy who just turned up at Strangeways after people were knocked back, he wouldn't have been married to a relative of anyone who was high up at prison service headquarters, would he? No. That sort of thing doesn't happen, does it? No, it doesn't. That won't be how he got the job. Oh, Phil Coppell. Phil Coppell, there or thereabouts, prison service headquarters, was in charge of the prison service. Yeah? There or thereabouts, like I say, at the time. He obviously wasn't related to Phil Coppell in any way. Was he? No. Anyway, he got the job. He was shite. That's just my opinion. Merchant banker, unprofessional, morale dipped. He wasn't there long. He impressed no one. The workforce closed ranks, shut ranks, turned on him. What did he do? Well, I'll tell you, he was going round handing out the old sweets to all the lasses, to all the females. God's gift, he stopped in a hotel opposite the prison. Oh, I've just remembered another one now. Seriously, you can't write this. And he got done sending inappropriate emails. Allegedly, that's what he said in the papers, allegedly. He sent inappropriate emails to a female member of staff and it was going to get investigated. Here's the fucking thing, right? Because he wasn't married to anyone, relative of anyone at prison service headquarters, nothing to do with Phil Coppell or anything like that. Here's the thing. If a lass receives an email that is inappropriate, highly inappropriate, yeah, and it is upsetting and it's come from him, then that's your investigation. He sent it, instant dismissal, boom, kick his ass out at door. Yeah, that's not going to happen though, is it? Because I've already told you, he's not connected to anyone at prison service headquarters. The hotel, yeah, he's stopping at, I think it was Premier Lodge, near Strangeways. You could see Strangeways from the Premier Lodge. So one night he phones the prison, this guy. This isn't a joke. Well, it is, but it's not. He phones the prison, yeah, and he's looking at the Cat A unit, E-wing, and somebody's sending Morse code. So anyone out there who don't know what Morse code is, it is a code. It's a series of dots and dashes. So if you had a torch, put your hand over the end of the torch, dot, dot, dash, dot, dot. Yeah, somebody's sending Morse code from the Cat A unit. He wants it investigating. I think it was the very next day. The very next day, the Cat A staff, and again, I'm laughing now, this will have caused some grief on that unit, had to move all the prisoners from that side of E-wing into cells within the jail. Some of the windows looked into the jail. That's same with all the wings. Some looked at the walls and beyond. Some looked into the jail. They had to move all the Cat A's. That's a lot of work, that searching, the grief, moving people. Cat A prisoners get moved regularly anyway as part of procedures and routines. He had them all moved. Maintenance department came on board and they found the spy who was sending the Morse code. It was oh, it was a fluorescent light in the toilet flashing. We all fucking knew that, didn't we? Eh? The Cat A staff knew that. Everybody knew that. Maintenance department knew that. It was a flashing light. It was a broken fucking flashing light, but he had everyone moved. That sums him up. And then the paper articles, newspaper articles, removed to a desk job at prison service headquarters. You know, shocking. That was John O'Sullivan. At Strangeways a short time. Mr. Ego. God's gift. Put his name in, Strangeways prison governor, John O'Sullivan. You'll see articles around from the time. So this is Saturday night as you see this. Had a long and meaningful conversation with Sean. He has been on the channel before. I will be putting up that Sunday night. It is quite heavy going. You know, hopefully we're going to help him work some things out because he is struggling. Interviews coming. It is going to be exciting when I can actually get to meet people. Certainly in September, I'm hoping to meet a lass. I've been talking to her a long time. She's one of them people who is passionate about people and did a particular job that gets a lot of flack because she cares about people and she tries to do a good job. I know it has impacted her life and mental health. Whether she remains in the job, I don't know. But are you ready for this? And I can hear the boos from the ex-cons now. The lads used to lock up. Probation. Yes, she was a probation worker. What has happened the past couple of years during lockdown and the like is criminal in itself. One of the lads I was interviewing, and we've partly done his story, got locked up, sent back to prison by probation. He was an heroin addict of over 35 years. I remember after an interview while we were chatting, having a brew, he said he'd slipped off the wagon and used heroin just the once, and he told probation. I looked at him, I said, do you think that is the best idea? He says, yeah, you know, I have a good working relationship with this guy. He was medium risk at that time. He says they're going to make me high risk. That's risk of reoffending or the like. But yeah, I've got a good working relationship and honesty is the best policy. Our next meeting, he didn't turn up. I got a message from his missus. He had been recalled back to prison. So imagine that. You're out of prison, trying to do your best. You fall off the wagon, you tell probation, and they have you breached and lock you back up. That's not in the public's interest. You know, 35 years a heroin addict. No. Probation for me should be about keeping people out of prison, not sending them back for the slightest little hiccup. It's going to be an interesting conversation. It's going to be quite hardcore, I feel. This lass is very much like me. She's going to say it how it is. She will not pull any punches. It has impacted her health, I definitely know that. So looking forward to that. There's other people as well that we're going to be interviewing. Some of them, it's going to take some arranging. I've been out vlogging this week. I missed Thursday, Friday. Thursday, Ed went a bit west, but that's all right. Back on it today, little interview tomorrow, and out doing a couple of 3 vlogs next week. Parting shot as always, thanks to everyone who has supported the channel. Parting shot as always. Good lad. Come on in, let's get you home and get your tea. Thanks for coming, Al City.